In the music at the Mayan ruins. True devotion on the bluest ocean. Cruising. My cultural influence, even revolution. I'm integrated vertically, y'all blew it. They tell me hustle, dumb it down, you might confuse it. This ain't that weirdo rap you used to. I'm a urban legend. South Central in a certain section. Can't express how I curb detectives. Guesses, evidence of a divine presence. Blessings, held me down at times I seem reckless. Got an L but gotta eat for effort. Dropped them off in the Mojave Desert, then left me. Ain't no answer to these trick questions. Money making nip, straighten out my jewelry on my dresser. Well known, flick up and clothes, snatch from Rico's till T-shows. Whatever, playing chess, not.
Round one of the East rolls on. Game two, just about ready to tip off. Playoff basketball on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. We've got the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Boston Celtics. We look at the Celtics. A successful outing in game one has them right where they want to be with a chance here, guys, to take game two on their home court.
And this is the game that gives them a chance to put the hammer down. If they can build on their game one win with another one tonight, they'll have a stranglehold on this series.
Here's Pritchard following the basket by Kristaps Porzingis. And the shot goes in. Pritchard's got 5 points so far. Taking a look at Boston. They notched a big win in the series opener, trying to avoid a letdown here tonight. Greg, what do they need to do to maintain their momentum?
You know, Kev, first, I think they need to weather that early storm. They're going to face a desperate opponent. But once the game settles in, it's about playing smart and playing with energy. You're the favorite for a reason. Go out and show the world what you're made of.
If they could only hear that from you, that would guide them. That's a great piece of advice. Tatum. 5 on the clock. Now Reza Shea. Pass to Johnson. Down low. Here's Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
And for Porzingis, gosh, a dunk looks so easy.
Here's Pritchard. He has 5. Outside Tatum. This ball movement by Boston. Off target with his 3. Here's Atlanta now. And taken away by Brown. Over to the wing. Back to Tatum. Now in the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
Oh, what a great option he gives them on every possession.
And Young, here we go. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. And pushing it up, here's Boston. The offensive rebound. Brown outside. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Porzingis. The Hawks trailing. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, D.A.?
Hey, Kevin, briefly spoke with Joe Mazzulla. Now, I asked him about trying to slow down Trae Young, and the coach said you have to get the ball out of his hands. He can hurt you with the pass and with his shot. I'm not going to be surprised if you see them blitzing and doubling him a good portion of the game. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Here's Pritchard. The kick out to Brown. And he's good on the 3 ball.
That's a smart pass press, get it to Brown, and just let Jalen cook.
Here's Porzingis, and the turnover again by Atlanta. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Here's Brown, and Brown throws it down.
Give it up to Brown. He's so dangerous off the bounce.
And timeout is called by Quinn Snyder. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. So it's the Hawks now, trailing by 4. Young for 3. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
It's all about smart choices, and Trae Young's making them right now.
Here's Brown. The kick out to Tatum. Riza with it. Still yet to score. Pass to Daniel. Now Young. Shot clock at 5. Atlanta needs to get off a shot here. Good. Porzingis. 8 points for Porzingis.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's Pritchard. He's got 5. Pass to Brown. Takes the 3. Rebound by the Hawks. Greg, I'm sure their coach is very pleased with their offensive flow right now.
I mean, it's harder than it looks to get it going like this. Now they just have to maintain it.
I don't think the defense does enough out there to bother him. I think that one's all on him. Just a flat-out miss.
Here's Tatum, and it's in there.
Well, they're trying to take command of this game, but it's been competitive so far.
Yeah, everybody trying to get away from one another, and the threads are keeping them close. This has been highly competitive.
Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
And the foul called on Porzingis. That is his first foul of the game. So both teams making some changes here. And timeout is called by Quinn Snyder. He's ready to talk things through with the team. Making a change here. .44 seconds left to play in the first. Van Vliet deciding where to go with it. That one's in, his first shot this game.
Oh, tricky play by Van Vliet to beat the close coverage pass there for the finish.
A shot by Alexander Walker, no good. The Celtics shooting their first free throws here tonight.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
Free throw good, Van Vliet.
And, you know, it takes an intelligent player to match up with bigger guys and win. Fred Van Vliet is that player. He can outsmart guys who have, on paper, the advantage.
Young, right side. The wide open look here for Porzingis. Paxton coming off the assist from Young.
Ready to shoot. Porzingis fires.
Here's Van Vliet. And he comes up with the deuce. Van Vliet's got 6.
Punch, counter punch. Impressive offensive production early on.
Who's going to miss first? Every time one team scores, the other team right back at you.
And we'll have a timeout called by Quinn Snyder. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys. Eyes a three off the inbound. Another three for Atlanta. He talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition.
You have to love these kinds of games, scoring-wise, keeping everybody on their toes.
And so, lots of scoring in that competitive first.
21.
And glad to have you with us as we get going here in Game 2. In a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Hawks.
They look to fire as much as possible from outside the arc, and so far they are hitting at a high clip.
Sometimes the offense can be keyed by just quick possession. So you get a steal and you can get out in transition. They seem to be very focused on that end of the floor.
Let's check in with David Aldridge for an injury update on Jason Tatum. David.
Well, guys, I had a minute to catch up with the Celtics head athletic trainer. He told me that it looks like a bruised tailbone and that he's in some pain. And for a team currently in the midst of this brutal first-round series, this is really bad timing. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Hopefully we'll see him very soon. Here's Kennard. Following the basket by Fred VanVleet. Pass to Daniel. For three. Here's Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Sometimes you do a little extra work. Something good comes your way. Porzingis cleans up that offensive rebound.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. Looking for a breather. And maybe just one or two things to talk about. Here's VanVleet. 8 points for him. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Scored the basket. His fourth. He's only missed one of his 5 shots tonight. Now, here's Kennard. To the middle. It's stolen by Capella. Here's Walker. Lays it up and banks it in. Walker's got his first 2 points. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Celtics?
Right off the bat, they're going after the ball, looking to jump into the passing lanes and create some steals in transition.
Sometimes the offense can be keyed by just quick possession. So you get a steal and you can get out in transition. You seem to be very focused on that end of the floor.
So it's the Celtics now. After the basket by Atlanta. That one good for 2. VanVleet's got 12 in the game.
And unafraid to challenge the heart of this defense. VanVleet's a strong finisher for his side.
And there's the foul. It's on Jaylen Brown. That is his first foul of the game. And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. Wants to talk some things over. Might be seeing some things to adjust.
To the floor for the Celtics.
And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Pass to Daniel. They set the pick to the inside. Risacher. And the dunk by Risacher.
Yeah, if you give Risacher a chance at the rim, he's going to make you pay.
And there's the call on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
On defense, Atlanta. VanVleet outside. Atlanta with the rebound. Inside. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Porzingis has shown us signs of a little bit of everything here. Scoring, skill, dominating offensively.
VanVleet attacking. To the paint. Porzingis with the steal. Fast break, the Hawks. Here's Risacher. Misses from short range. To the inside. Oh, and the jam by Capella.
And Clint Capella having a little bit of fun out there with that dunk.
Alexander Walker on the wing. Nothing on the board. Screen by Porzingis. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. And timeout is called by Quinn Snyder. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Kennard. And the dunk by Porzingis.
You got to stay in front of Porzingis, especially when he rolls out of the pick and roll. Even though that's not a guarantee, you're going to stop it.
Here's Van Vliet. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
Well, that basket must be widening out right now because he's making almost every shot he's putting up this quarter.
And Jabari Walker picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Now, here is Young. He has 5. Outside, Porzingis. Pass to Kennard. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And that one's good. Reza Shane.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Here's Van Vliet. The rebound by Young. The Hawks leading by 4. And here's Porzingis. And we'll have a timeout called by Quinn Snyder. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. There's 1:38 left in the first half of basketball. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. And it's a 6-point Atlanta lead.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Here's Brown. And Brown throws it down.
I mean, what a player Jaylen Brown has become. My goodness.
And Capella sends it back. Van Vliet outside. Diving in. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. This is his second trip to the line in this one. The first one falls. And so Van Vliet nails both of them. And 1:01 left to play here in the half. And here's Daniels. Hasn't made one yet. And Clint Capella is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. 52 seconds left to play in the first half. Screen by Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
You can see there just the threat of Young pulling up. It's going to open up the two-man game. The defender forced to come out and respect the deep shot. And Trey able to make the play.
Van Vliet can't get it to go. Inside. Back to Daniels. Three-pointer. Still looking for his first make after that miss. He's 0 for 2. Brown outside. Van Vliet outside. With 4 seconds on the clock. And it's good on the way in. Van Vliet's got 18 points.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Hawks lead by 2. We've got more hoops coming your way in just a moment. NBA playoff round 1. Thanks for joining us as we get back to the action on the court. Boston trailing. Here's the drive. For the tie, Porzingis with the block.
Well, Porzingis, the height, the reach, just overpowering.
The Hawks making a switch here.
Coming onto the floor for the Hawks, number 20, Luke Kennard.
Here's Van Vliet. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
Now into the lineup for the Hawks, number 5.
Here's Young. A 2-point game. Pass to Kennard. And so it looks like the Hawks will retain possession here. Here's Young. Going inside. Now here's Kennard. Buries the long-range jumper. Kennard's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for the Hawks. Here's Van Vliet. Basket number 8. For him on 13 tries. That's 62% so far.
It's been all Van Vliet tonight. One of the best undrafted players in league history.
Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
When a player gets a feel for that floater, it can really make things tough on defenders. You're just not sure how to guard them and where your point of commitment is.
Young, no good.
And that's just enough defensive pressure on him to throw off that shot. I bet he gets a good look at it next time and hits it.
Pass to Capella. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Van Vliet.
Timeout.
I know people can't see you, but you're doing what I'm doing. Scratching your head to that turnover.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. And the Celtics making a change here. Young looking it over. Pass to Porzingis. Hawks passing it around. White, good. White's got his first basket.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Here's Porzingis. Capella covering. Here's Young. Back to Porzingis. And Capella sends it back.
Capella's reach is so intimidating for anybody on the inside. That's why you can anchor your defense with him.
The Hawks leading. Kennard on the wing. He's got 8. Porzingis inside. Softly drops in the floater. Porzingis has got 29.
What a performance on the offensive end. He's making the defenders pay right now for all of the mistakes they're making.
Here's Pritchard. Count the basket. Pritchard's got 7 points in the game.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Here's Young. To Porzingis.
And at his size, Porzingis needs to try to do that more often and take advantage of matchup problems.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
The line for the Hawks.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
A big fella with the ability and confidence at the free throw line is something that every team wants. You don't have to make those late substitutions. Keep the big guys on the floor.
Pritchard. And it's blocked. Young with the ball. He's picked up by White. The kick out to Young. Porzingis at the elbow. Trying to get open as Johnson. Sinks it. And the shot from Porzingis. Porzingis has got 33.
He's played a huge role in this game to this point, but it looks like he just wants more. He wants to make sure that this lead holds up.
It's White on the wing. 2 points. That one goes. White's got 4 this quarter.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play. Getting the ball inside right to the bucket.
Here's Young. It's stolen by Capella. Pass to Pritchard. .139 left in the third. 6 to shoot. Outside Tatum. Over Johnson. Here's Capella. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Capella's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Capella, one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. It's because of his activity.
1:10 left here in the third quarter. It's to Porzingis. Rebound by the Celtics. Here's Tatum for the lead. It's hauled in by Trae Young. Johnson goes in. That one doesn't go. Some solid defense from Brown. And here is Capella. By Porzingis.
Well, take your choice. You can either foul him or watch him dunk. Well, actually, in this case, you could get both.
Here's Johnson. Takes it inside. And slam dunk by Johnson.
Boy, is he dynamic. Jalen Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. Both teams deciding to change it up. Boston trailing. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Here's Van Vliet. And it's good. He's made 2 for every one he's missed. 10 of 15 in the contest. As we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
With the drive, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
First free throw is good. And so Van Vliet nails both of them. Now Kennard. Good as it goes. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. Guys, it's been all about Fred Van Vliet for the Celtics. He's up to 26.
53.
And we're with you again as our round one coverage continues. The Hawks trailed by 3. Young outside. He takes it in. And here's Porzingis for a 3. Offensive rebound. Pass to Young. A pass to Porzingis. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And that's a primetime alley-oop from the 7'3" Porzingis.
Van Vliet outside. Here's Tatum. Van Vliet outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Puts it up from 15. Porzingis with the rebound.
Not great numbers, but great effort in this one. Sounds funny, but I think he's been a positive for them.
Basket good. Boy, right down to the wire here. Still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
Pass to Tatum. Here's Tatum. Down low. Here's Hauser. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team.
Yikes, that one stings there. Hurts so much more to turn the ball over, especially with how tight the game is.
And we'll have a timeout called by Quinn Snyder. Clearly, he's got something his players need to hear, and immediately. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, during the last break, I heard Quinn Snyder talking with his team. Now, with the game in the balance, he had some encouraging words for his team. He said, this is what we wanted. We thought if we kept it close, we could pull it out. Now, let's go out there and do just that. Back to you guys.
Okay, David, thanks.
Young working hard on the defensive end that time.
Van Vliet with it. To the middle. Here's Capella. Comes up empty down low. The Hawks leading by 3. Pass to Rizachet. Here's White. He gets it in there.
And that passing ability really helps separate Tatum from so many others because the defense has to focus on his ability to score.
Oh, going high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam. Pass to White. And White slams it in.
Very little resistance against that throwdown.
Nope, not what they want to see in a game this close, Greg.
On one side, inspiration. On the other, devastation.
And Young, here we go. Kennard with the ball. Here's Young. White covering. Back to Kennard. Kept the wide. Okongwu. And it's Okongwu slamming it down.
And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. Hawks on D. Here in the fourth, they've allowed just 4 points. Here's White, and White with the stop.
Big-time basket there on the inside. I mean, he had to get that one up and over the big guy.
Seemed extremely focused on that hoop the whole way. You could see it in his eyes. Was not going to be denied.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Porzingis showing a little strength down low that time. You can't get upset at the D for being physical with him on that play.
And both free throws good for Porzingis.
And he's the one person that the coaching staff and the teammates love to see at the line in a tight ball game. You can pretty much bank on these.
Now, here is Young. Pass to Rizachet. 6 on the shot clock. And Capella sends it back.
Well, that's just great timing. Interfering with those long limbs. Capella with another shot block.
And Tatum's experience in these spots is starting to show. He's never been afraid to take the biggest shots.
Pass to Kennard. Porzingis. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. There's 1:38 left in the game. There's Brown with the 3. trying to find Van Vliet and gets it to him. The kick out to Brown. To take the lead. Kicks it out for Van Vliet. Back to Brown. That falls. Great assist by Van Vliet. And the Celtics lead by 1.
It seems like Brown always has something cooking, and he shows up big when they need him most.
Back to Young. Bernard on the wing. To Porzingis. Shoots over Capella. It falls!
The nerves on this guy.
Not backing down from this moment here. When the game is close, he kicks it up a notch.
Here's Young. Count it!
Trae Young, not the biggest guy on the court, but will take the biggest shots.
Can't afford any wasted possessions down the stretch.
Nope. Every opportunity here have to have flawless execution.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
16 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And so they foul intentionally.
Man, it took forever for them to commit that foul. I don't know why they didn't do it right away. Those are precious seconds.
He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
Ooh, I think that's a wrap, and I can tell you, you can't have more pressure-packed free throws than the ones that are going to seal the game. Those interior passes can be dangerous sometimes, but if the timing is good and you execute it there, you can get easy hoops.
No choice but to foul here. He's probably the last guy you want to see on the run.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game. Here's Brown. Yes!
Picasso couldn't have drawn that up any better. Perfect execution off the inbound.
And he commits the intentional foul. That's the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Second one is good, hitting both at the line, and it's a 5-point game. And so the Hawks take the win. Just a massive victory, Greg. Maybe it's overstating it, but I think this was a game they had to have.
And I don't think it's overstating it.